In the chaotic final days of World War II, General Theodor Busse defied Adolf Hitler's orders, orchestrating a daring breakout from the Halbe Pocket to save thousands of German soldiers and civilians from Soviet captivity, a bold act of leadership that cemented his legacy as a pragmatic commander in a crumbling regime. Complete life story of Theodor Busse. Early life in World War I, 1897–1918. Ernst Hermann August Theodor Busse was born on December 15, 1897, in Frankfurt, Oder, German Empire, to a family with a modest military background. His father, August Ernst Karl Busse, served as a vice sergeant in the 8th Grenadier Regiment. In 1915, at the age of 17, Busse joined the Imperial German Army as an officer cadet in the 12th Grenadier Regiment, Prinz Karl von Preußen. He was commissioned as a lieutenant in February 1917 and fought on the battlefields of World War I, earning the Iron Cross, both classes, the Knight's Cross with Swords of the Hohenzollern Order, and the Wound Badge in Black for his bravery in service. After the armistice in 1918, Busse was one of only 2,000 officers retained in the newly formed Reichswehr, the post-war German military limited by the Treaty of Versailles, where he began to climb the ranks. Interwar years and rise in the Reichswehr, 1918–1939. During the interwar period, Busse served in the constrained but disciplined Reichswehr, steadily advancing through the ranks. By 1933, when Hitler rose to power, he was an Oberleutnant, first lieutenant, and by 1939, he had reached the rank of Oberstleutnant, lieutenant colonel, in the General Staff. In April 1939, Busse demonstrated his organizational prowess by designing a comprehensive training program for the German Army, approved by the Chief of the General Staff in August, covering October 1939 to September 1940. This program showcased his strategic acumen and set the stage for his significant roles in World War II. World War II, early roles in Eastern Front, 1939–1944. With the outbreak of World War II, Busse's career accelerated. From 1940 to 1942, he served as Chief of Operations under General, later Field Marshal, Erich von Manstein in the 11th Army on the Eastern Front, playing a key role in the conquest of Crimea. His work under Manstein, one of Germany's most brilliant commanders, was pivotal during the Stalingrad campaign as Chief of Operations for Army Group Don, 1942–1943. In March 1943, Manstein selected Busse over Henning von Tresckow, a gifted officer involved in the anti-Hitler resistance, to become Chief of Staff of Army Group South, a position he held until April 1944. During this period, Busse was instrumental in planning operations like Operation Citadel, the Battle of Kursk, earning the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross on January 30, 1944, for his contributions. He also received the German Cross in Gold, May 24, 1942, and the Romanian Military Order of Michael the Brave, 3rd Class, May 8, 1942. Busse's relationship with Manstein was complex. Initially strained, it grew into a deep professional bond, with Manstein describing Busse as his closest collaborator. However, Busse's loyalty to the regime and connections to Hitler's entourage, including his brother-in-law Wilhelm Bergdorf, head of the Army Personnel Office, made him a polarizing figure among peers wary of his optimism and ties to Nazi leadership. In July 1944, Busse briefly commanded the 121st Infantry Division, followed by the 1st Army Corps in August 1944. He was promoted to General der Infanterie, General of Infantry, on November 1, 1944, a testament to his rapid rise. World War II, command of the 9th Army in Battle of Berlin, 1945. In January 1945, Busse was appointed commander of the 9th Army, part of Army Group Vistula, though his appointment was never officially confirmed due to a customary 6-month probation period for high-level commanders, which Germany's surrender preempted. As Soviet forces advanced toward Berlin, Busse's 9th Army was tasked with defending the German capital during the Battle of Seelow Heights and the Battle of the Oder-Neisse in April 1945. Facing overwhelming Soviet forces, Busse's army inflicted heavy losses but was ultimately forced to retreat. During the Battle of Berlin, Busse's 9th Army became encircled in the Halbe Pocket by late April 1945. General Gotthard Heinrici, his superior, urged Busse to withdraw, but Busse refused without direct orders from Hitler, reflecting his adherence to military discipline despite the dire situation. However, in a desperate bid to save his men, Busse defied Hitler's orders to link with the 12th Army for a counteroffensive and instead orchestrated a breakout from the Halbe Pocket. Collaborating with General Walther Wenck's 12th Army, Busse led a bloody but partially successful effort to push west, allowing approximately 25,000 soldiers and thousands of civilians to escape Soviet encirclement and surrender to American forces at the Elbe River between May 4 and 7, 1945. This operation, though costly, with 30,000 German soldiers and 10,000 civilians killed, and 120,000 taken as Soviet prisoners, was a remarkable act of leadership in the war's final days. Post-war imprisonment and disguised escape, 1945–1947. After the breakout, Busse evaded immediate capture by disguising himself as a civilian and traveling 800 kilometers by bicycle to reunite with his family in Bavaria. However, he was apprehended by American forces in July 1945 and held as a prisoner of war until 1947, including time at Landsberg am Lech prison. During the Nuremberg trials, Busse testified about his motivations, stating he fought to protect German civilians fleeing westward from the advancing Soviets, following the example of soldiers who chose death over surrender. Post-war career and legacy, 1947–1986. After his release, Busse transitioned to civilian life and became West Germany's Director of Civil Defense, a role in which he applied his military expertise to post-war reconstruction. He also contributed to the Himmelroder Memorandum, which laid the groundwork for the establishment of the Bundeswehr and West Germany's rearmament, and worked on emergency legislation for civil-military cooperation in crises. Busse authored and edited several works on World War II military history, including a notable study on Operation Citadel edited by Stephen H. Newton in Kursk, The German View, offering insights from German commanders. In 1966, he was awarded the Knight Commander's Cross of the Order of Merit of the Federal Republic of Germany for his contributions. Busse lived quietly in Wallerstein, Bavaria, with his wife Camilla, who died in 1968, and was buried alongside her and their son Joachim Christian, who died in 1936, at the Wallerstein Cemetery. He passed away on October 21, 1986, at the age of 88, leaving a complex legacy as a capable but controversial figure due to his loyalty to the Nazi regime and his pragmatic decisions in the war's final days. His Wikipedia page, available in 25 languages, has garnered over 348,013 views since 2007, reflecting enduring interest in his military career. Personal notes and controversies. Busse's close ties to Manstein and Bergdorf, along with his perceived optimism and loyalty to Hitler's regime, made him a divisive figure among German officers, some of whom distrusted his connections to Nazi leadership. Yet, his actions at Halbe demonstrated a commitment to saving lives over blind obedience, highlighting a nuanced character in a time of moral and military collapse. His post-war contributions to West Germany's civil, defense and military historiography further underscore his adaptability and enduring influence.